Are you thinking of how you can make more placements or how you can increase your POs? And here in this video, I'm going to discuss about the concept of how we can make more placements, all right? And if you are here to understand a magic pill or a shortcut, this is not for you. And this video I am creating to let you understand that how the mechanism of the PO works, and as a recruiter that what we should be doing, all right? So first thing that you need to focus that how a PO works and what are the chances, what are the instances we could call that may stop the PO to happen, right? PO, let's take it as someone joins, okay? So if you get a PO doesn't mean you had a proper placements or you are making money. So after PO also things may change. So now let's focus about placement. And here, if you are thinking of increasing placement, so you need to understand that how you decrease your backouts, all right? Let's say in 3 months, you are making 3 placements, 3 candidates of yours joining in the client. So now you want to increase that number. So do not focus on increasing that number, but focus on how you can decrease the backouts that you had. Both are same but different thought process. Most of the time we think that, okay, last quarter I have 3 placements. Now this quarter I'll focus on 4 or 5 placements. And with that thought process, what happens is we forget what are the things that are impacting these output and we do not focus on that. So let's bring your focus to the backouts. Let's say you had 10 interviews and within that you got 6 offers and you have 3 joinings, okay? So now from the 6 offers you had 3 offer declines. Now what is that you would focus? In these 3 offer declines, what are those that was like totally out of your hand, that you could not do anything else, or you tried your 100% but still no one could stop that 3 backouts, okay? And since we are in the industry of human being, okay, this is a business between people to people, person to person, and you need to remember that we are not selling pen, mobile, laptop or car that if someone purchases, we can directly take this product and deliver that to the buyer and that product will stay there. But here what we do, we are working with a human being who has a potential to think on their own and they can take decisions the way they want. So it is very difficult industry and difficult thing to manage someone's thoughts and someone's behavior. And human behavior is something very difficult that we need to understand that it needs a practice and it needs a strategy to handle it. And that is the reason we as a recruiter fail most of the time. We do not understand the job seekers mentality. We think that, okay, the interview happened, we are paying $30, $40 or $70 and that person said okay and that person may join and I'm gonna get my incentive. It is not going to happen all the time. Got it? So now what is that you should be focusing first is how you are going to minimize your backout. So in the backout, you need to focus on the stages, okay? Was the person did not take the offer after you have given the offer? What was the objection that was there, that why that person did not take the offer? And the previous, was that a candidate was no response after the interview? Okay, did you handle the objection properly? So now what most of the time happens is someone doesn't accept a project due to many things, but few things are about the money or the duration or the distance or something else. So now you as a recruiter needs to talk to the candidate prior to the offer that what are the possibilities the candidate may not join this project, and we as a recruiter fear to ask this question. If you train your candidate how they should not treat you, then there are chances that so many predictable things may happen. So as a recruiter, what you are doing after the interview? Are you working with the candidate to handle all the objections? Are you asking the right questions to match this requirement with the candidate's need? Are you really focusing on the candidate instead of your placement and your commissions? Because the vibration that you carry while talking to a human being, the person can identify that. If you are going with a mode to help someone, that person will understand that. And with that sort of thought process you should have from the beginning. How you handle the call, how you close the candidate, how you have a process. Okay, if you do not have a process, remember this: have a process between submission till the interview, or for a certain point of time till your client responds. And this industry is a collaborative industry that we have to work in hand to hand with the hiring manager and the hiring team, and recruiters doesn't have the 100% control over how the hiring manager, the client behaves. So with your past experience, you need to work with the candidate in such a manner and establish a process, letting the candidate know what's happening in the client's end and how you are going to help the candidate to get what they want. So what you are saying is, you are going to help the client to get what they want the best, and you are saying the candidate that you are going to give the candidate the best opportunity what they want. So now you are the bridge between these two things. If you do not match the expectation of the candidate is going to back out. As a recruiter, you need to understand prior to the offer that what exactly the candidate wants. And if you are saying that candidates won't say, my question to you is, have you asked a direct question to the candidate ever in the past? If you ask a question, why do you think the candidate will not reply? The recruiters, we shy away asking questions thinking that we may annoy the candidate. That is not the right thing. That is not the truth. It is a myth that candidate will not talk to us. Come on guys, they are here discussing with us for a job, for their career, and they depend on us because we know the client better than anybody else. Now it's our responsibility to explain the candidate by understanding what they want. Got it? Like we are the bearer. We are the bearer in the hotel. We need to understand what the person wants to eat, and we have to go and talk to the chef and get the things and serve those people. Anytime we fail to serve the things that makes the candidate happy, the candidate will lose. All right. So next time, focus on the back out. What sort of backouts that you had, and if you are having backouts during the interview, before the interview, so there is a bigger gap that you need to fill. So your candidates not taking the interviews, the candidates are not showing up for the second round interview, candidates vanishing after the first round interview, or candidates are not accepting your offer. So these scenarios you need to find out and you need to analyze, okay, what I could do better to ensure that I will minimize these things by giving what is the candidate wants and how I can solve the problem. So once you identify the reasons of the backout, and if that is in your forte or that is something that you can help, absolutely you can increase your placements by decreasing the backouts. And it all possible if you interact with the candidate properly, spend time with the candidate properly, try to understand. Do not focus on your daily submission, but focus on changing people's life by giving them an opportunity. All right. I hope it makes sense. And if you're watching this video, I would be interested for knowing which state you are from, which location you are from that you're watching this video, and you have any questions. Feel free to put that in the comments and I'll pick the best question that suits to the recruiter, and I'm going to answer that. in a video. All right. Thank you very much for watching. This is Suman Pachigulla and I'm on a mission to impact 5 million lives. Take care and God bless.